You could say that Mark Smith had the deck stacked against him even before he got started. Born into a family already torn apart by alcohol and drug addiction, Mark's road through life was made even more difficult by a disastrous medical error on the day he was born.
March 2nd, 1971. On that date, my grandfather was serving a 12-year prison sentence in San Quentin Prison in San Francisco. My grandmother was shooting heroin in an apartment, a lifelong drug addict and prostitute. My father was sitting in a bar, a lifelong alcoholic, his typical day, drunk by noon. And I was being born, but not breathing.
Doctors didn't expect him to live through the night, but Mark survived, first for a day, then a week, and eventually long enough to breathe on his own and leave the hospital. But getting released from the hospital didn't spell an end to challenges in Mark's young life. The adversity he faced from his disability was magnified by the dysfunction that devastated his family and an educational system that was ill-equipped to handle someone like Mark.
I went to school for handicapped children, as they called us at the time, and what we did there was very little. It was basically a daycare. So there I was, curled up in a ball on the mat all day and not learning much. They were looking for an experiment. One child with a disability to attend public school, and they gave me an IQ exam and all other tests. I scored extremely high.
While he excelled at his schoolwork, Mark's home situation continued to deteriorate.
My home life was less stable than ever. My mother drinking was around the clock. Her drug use was around the clock. My biological father was long gone. My grandmother was gone. There's really no one around me. My brother and I basically caring for ourselves. If there's anything I need to learn to do from step one, it's got to be bathe myself. So I rolled my chair up to the bathtub, unbuckled my seatbelt, boom, threw myself in.
Mark began public speaking in high school, talking about disability awareness to student and teacher groups.
Started out speaking at a couple of local high schools on disability awareness. Next thing I know, I was speaking to the local Teachers Association, Elks clubs, and so when I graduated high school, rather than going right into college, I went right onto the road. By 2021, I'm doing so well that I own my own home.
Seeing writing as a natural extension of his speaking engagements, Mark got to work on writing a book about his life story.
I sat down one summer in between talks and typed out a book. And I sent out this book to probably 30 or 40 publishers, and I got 30 or 40 rejection letters. And I got a phone call from a publisher's secretary. And she said to me, Mark, you know, we received your manuscript, thank you. Our CEO's flying out to San Francisco next week. He'd like to meet with you about your book. So I sat there with him, and he looked at me and he said, look, Mark, I'm not gonna bullshit you. You have a great amateur manuscript here. I'll make you a deal. If you enroll in college, I'll publish your book. I'm like, deal.
The result was an academic career that saw him secure a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. While in school, as the internet was quickly gaining in popularity, Mark recognized another opportunity and started a website dedicated to his passion for wheelchairs.
I started a little website in college called wheelchairjunkie.com.
In 2000, Mark went to work for Pride Mobility. When he's not working, Mark is a dedicated father to his teenage daughter. Mark's rise from a bleak beginning to the fulfilling life he enjoys today is more than just a compelling story. It is a testament to the ideal that each one of us controls our own destiny. As Mark would say, don't blame the dealer, just play the cards you're dealt.